Once, in a quiet little village hidden between mountains, there lived a young man named Marco. He was only 24, yet his heart felt heavy, and his mind never rested. All day long, thoughts rushed in like a storm. Sometimes memories of his past filled him with sadness. Other times, worries about the future made him restless. His nights were sleepless, his days joyless, and his smile long forgotten. One evening, while sitting alone, Marco overheard travelers talking. They spoke about a faraway village in the hills where a wise old man lived. He used to be a great psychologist in the city, they said. He helped countless people find peace in their troubled minds. Now, in his old age, he lives quietly in nature. Those who seek him sometimes return with answers. Marco's heart lit with hope. Could this man help me? Could he silence this storm in my head? Without another thought, Marco packed a small bag and began a long and tiring journey toward the hills. Days later, exhausted but determined, Marco finally reached the village. There, at the edge of a small house covered in vines, he saw him, the old man, sitting calmly on the porch, eyes closed, face glowing with serenity. Marco stepped closer and whispered, "Grandfather, my mind is restless. I cannot stop thinking. I want peace in my heart. Can you help me?" Slowly, the old man opened his eyes and smiled. "So, you seek peace? Then come with me. I will give you a task." He led Marco to the yard and filled a glass of water, so full that the slightest shake would make it spill. Handing the glass to Marco, he said, "Walk to the edge of the village and return. But remember, not a single drop must fall." Marco's eyes widened. "That's it?" Still, he accepted the challenge. Carefully, he held the glass and began walking. The road was narrow, filled with noise. Children played and laughed, shopkeepers shouted to customers, and dogs barked from every corner. But Marco noticed nothing. His eyes stayed locked on the trembling water. Every step was careful, slow, and steady. When he finally returned, the water was still. Not a single drop had spilled. Breathless but proud, Marco said, "Grandfather, I did it." The old man nodded, and then asked, "Good, but tell me, did you see the children laughing? Did you hear the dogs barking? Did you notice the world around you?" Marco frowned. "No, I didn't. I saw nothing, heard nothing. I was only thinking about the water." The old man smiled again. "And that, my son, is the secret. Peace is not outside you. It was always inside. Today, while carrying this glass, your mind stayed only in the present moment. You were not lost in the past. You were not worried about the future. And in that silence, your restless storm disappeared." For the first time in years, Marco felt a strange calm. His heart grew light. He bowed his head and whispered, "Now I understand. If I keep my mind here, in this very moment, I will find peace." The old man smiled as the sun began to set. Birds flew back to their nests. Marco turned to leave, but he was no longer the restless boy. He was walking home as a man who had finally discovered the key to peace. And that key was within him all along. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who might need it. And remember, peace doesn't come from the world outside. It comes from within, when you choose to live fully in this very moment.